Perfect Grade Podcast. What's up, everyone? In this episode, we are joined by the man behind AO Mecha, where we will dissect his creative process in both Gunpla building and Twitch streaming. But before all that, allow us to welcome you to another episode of the Perfect Grade Podcast, your favorite weekly show where we talk about the latest news, series, movies, games, model kit releases, basically anything and everything Gundam under the sun. This podcast wouldn't be possible without our partners Gunpla Photography and Hobby Link Japan. If you are browsing for your latest Gunpla kit or whatever you need from Japan, head over to Hobby Link Japan by using Perfect Grade Studios affiliate link found in the description below. I am one of your hosts, Raynan, and alongside me, as always, are my co-hosts, the Gunpla modeler, the animator, the perfect grade rockstar, the Unipla. We got Miguel. And the creator of one of the most active Gunpla communities, Gunpla Photography, the Gunpla photographer himself, the daddy, the semi-bald one, GP, along with Ralph, shout out. And for today's special guest, he unboxes, does reviews, streams, and just like us, features builders from all over the world. The man behind SIDE6. He builds to inspire from Southern Ontario, Canada. We got Ariel Obtinalia. Thank you.
Hi.
Thank you so much.
Thanks for
being
having
here.
me.
No, thank you. Thank
Appreciate
you.
it.
All right.
Hey.
Thank you.
Big shout out to the crew here. Awesome podcast. Great content so far, guys. And if you guys have not checked out Gunpla Photography, the Facebook group is amazing. Lots and lots of inspiring images from around the world. Awesome. Just thank you for creating that.
Thank you so much, Ariel.
Happy to have you here too, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And thanks for reaching out. Happy to be here and discuss with you guys whatever we wanted today. So I'll answer as best as I can whatever questions you throw at me today.
Yeah, we will get there. We will get there. But before that, before we start the show, how is everyone? GP, Migs, Ariel, how's your week?
I just
Not
finished.
bad.
I'm dying.
Dying? Wow. GP, how about you? How's everything? How's your build and everything? How's life?
A little hectic. I started modding again with my build for GBWC. It's just a zoo silhouette, the
Nice.
kit bash.
Who the fuck is that guy?
I just finished seed. What?
Yeah, Ralph, that's Ralph. Hey, what's up, Ralph?
Oh yeah, my brother is here. He does Gunpla too, but very vanilla.
How about you, Miguel? How was your week?
It's very hectic. So many things are happening at work.
Mm-hmm.
But I did get some progress with my build.
What the?
Uh-oh.
Where is he? Where is he?
Oh, there he is.
What the?
There he is.
Oh.
Go back to the panel with the fork.
Okay.
Yeah, all right.
All right.
All
Sorry
right,
about that.
Miguel now.
Sorry about that. How about you, Ariel? We do.
Not too bad. Not too bad. It's been a crazy last couple of weeks because last weekend we were at a model kit competition expo here in Hamilton. So it's a city
Oh.
over from Toronto. It's an IPMS event, and it's one of the largest ones in Ontario, if not Canada. There was at least 900 entries with I forgot how many categories. Definitely over 20, or maybe even 40 categories. But this is the second year SIDE6, my club, was asked to come back. We have a table there to showcase our builds from the community. We also did a panel on to explain Gunpla in competitions. So it's not just intro to Gunpla, because I think a lot of people could get that online. There's a lot of intro to Gunpla already, but the event asked us to like be focused more on competitions because obviously there's a lot involved when it comes to Gunpla, and I think IPMS is at least from our end here is still kind of in the early stages of accepting and adopting the Gunpla competitions in their events. But yeah, it was that, and then this week just work, and then finally getting back to stream on Wednesday. I built the G Quicks.
Wow.
The high grade, solid kit. Love it. So far, it's a recommendation. For sure. Get it. I was skeptical. I was skeptical at first because, like, I mean, I've built a lot of Evangelion already. I mean, I could build another Evangelion, I guess. But no, I saw the the movie when it got
Oh, yeah.
released
Oh, yeah,
here
yeah.
for the weekend, so it made sense. I'm being open-minded about it, so we'll see how it goes in the next couple episodes that we get released.
Yeah, on April 6th, right? How you like it? How did you
Yeah,
like it so
yeah.
far?
Oh, sorry. There we go. My headset was dying.
Oh.
I like it so far. The animation shift was interesting because like the first part, obviously was like more retro, and then the new part with the new style.
Yeah.
I'm trying not to be a spoiler alert, guys. But it's interesting. For as long as like I guess people are open-minded to the design, the story direction, and that it is an alternate universe,
Mm-hmm.
I was okay with that. After that was explained to me, I was like, cool. I'll check it out. It's like any other alternate timeline, like what ifs, and you know what? They might have some really cool mechs down the road. So
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to seeing them.
Yeah, same. We also Miguel, I, and Justin, one of our co-hosts who is unfortunately not here right now, was also able to watch it. Like when was that, Miguel? Like 2 weeks ago. Yeah, we also liked it.
Yeah, a couple
3
weeks
weeks
ago.
ago.
Looking forward.
Yeah.
Yeah, looking forward to it this April 6th. Speaking of, you mentioned that you actually had a competition. Are you
hmm
gonna join GBWC?
I have been joining GBWC the last while. I actually just got my pin the other day for GBWC 12, so this thing just arrived
Oh.
Ooh.
for me. I entered the Zaku the Luna Maria Zaku base for
Mm.
the entry this year,
Ooh.
which placed gold as well at IPMS. I was very
Oh.
surprised about that.
Nice,
But yeah, I
nice.
do I try to participate where I can. I just find that like the way rules change in GBWC sometimes a little bit restrictive. I get it because
True.
Bandai obviously wants to promote more so
Mm-hmm.
their product, and it is a Bandai driven event. But the thing is, like with challenges like that, it just gives us modelers, I think, that extra push to be like creative in approaching it due to the limitations.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good pick.
And also shout out Canada. They got second place worldwide with Ryan Lau.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ryan Lau,
Yeah.
I talk to him daily. He's one of my closest
Oh.
friends. I speak with him daily. I speak with Simon Lamb daily, former like last year's world champion was also from Canada.
Oh yeah, yeah.
He's from
Ooh.
Toronto. I meet up with him once in a while here. And 2017, no, sorry, 2019 champion Nicholas Teada Sanchez from Canada.
Oh,
Yeah, he's also a close
Nicholas.
Oh,
friend of mine. Yeah,
Tejada.
I love his
Yeah.
yeah.
work. Love his
Yeah,
work.
great guy. So all the GBWC people from Canada, I think they are in my close circle of model kit friends, like hobby friends. So it's
All
kind of
right,
funny because
guys.
like yeah,
Why not?
Shout out to
We're
them.
moving to Canada. We're
Eh,
moving to Canada.
yeah, that's it. You'll come over, guys.
if you guys are watching, if you want to go be interviewed in the podcast, just leave a holler.
I'll tell you what, I'll do you one better. I'll just like introduce you guys to them, and you guys could figure out when you guys want them in there.
Hell
How
yeah,
about that?
you can do that.
Okay, the least I could do. The least I could do for you guys.
And move to Canada.
That's it. Just mind you, it's
Wow.
very cold during the winter, but that's it. You just have to fight polar bears, and sometimes you have to build your igloo. So just be mindful
Oh.
of that.
I have to practice my suplexes then.
All right, but before we get further into our discussion, I would like to go first to our first segment of the show, this week's breaking news.
Yeah, it's not the same without Senor Ruben.
All right. Okay. Justin is not here, so I'll be the one who will. Oh, oops. Sorry. I'll be the one to discuss the news here. So, from Gundam.info, GGG series Mobile Suit Gundam Char Aznable will be released by Mega House in late March and will be available for 18,700 yen. Oh, that's expensive. To celebrate the 45th
Wow.
anniversary of Mobile Suit Gundam, the figure of Char Aznable will be re-released as a limited edition item. It is pre-painted, assembled. It is a pre-painted assembled figure sculpted in approximately 1/8 scale, and the helmet can be removed by exchanging the head parts. Also,
Damn.
from Gundam.info,
I like it.
a new Gundam figure exhibition was launched in Akihabara, hosted at Tamashi Nation Stores, Tokyo. All right, let me get here. Okay, oops.
That's definitely
The Imagination Store
Nice.
Tokyo. The event features an extensive display of completed figures and offers a variety of exclusive merchandise for sale. The special pre-opening of the exhibition was live streamed on YouTube. You're looking at it right now by Gundam Info last March 26th. If you guys want to check out the stream, head over to Gundam Info's YouTube channel to see the replay. So yeah, basically they have a ton of exclusives here by Tamashii Nations. But yeah, that's it for our Gundam news. All right, team thoughts. Ariel, do you
For the product, I think
Mhm.
the char looks really great. The
Yeah.
detail on the Mega House is usually pretty
Yeah.
nice. Do we know how tall this is?
It's 1/8 scale, so I'm not actually sure.
So it's taller than the 112. Yeah,
Yeah.
I was gonna say it's like it looks almost like 110, 1/8. Looks pretty good, so it's gonna be fairly tall. Definitely a must for collectors of Char or any fan
Yeah.
of Char. This looks really cool. The helmet looks good. The detailing, the folding of the clothes look really good.
Mhm.
The gold looks like it's not like that cheap chrome. It
Cheap,
actually
yeah.
looks like
It does
decent
look
gold.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks
Mm.
great. And you have two heads like interchangeable, so that's kind of cool too.
I hope they release like a cheaper version, like a figurized standards for Char.
I was gonna say if they have a figurized standards, because like
Yeah.
they're doing that with a lot of like the female pilots, and I get that,
Yeah.
I get
Yeah.
the appeal of it, you know. But like I wouldn't mind a Mula Flaga or a Zex Marquise if you're gonna do Char.
Yeah.
I think like Char clones would be really great for that. And maybe even like Amuro
Yeah.
from Char
Yeah.
Counterattack would be really good.
Mm-hmm.
And then Camille, just because I want another
Yeah.
female figurized.
So you also build figurized.
Got him.
But Camille
I do,
Camille.
yeah. What do I have? I don't have actually I do have a figurized that I'm going to be building next. I think this Wednesday coming up. It's not Gundam related, but this is the what's it called, Kaiju number 8 character.
Kaiju
Oh.
Yeah, so I'm probably gonna be
Oh.
building
Love
her next week. I've been pushing a lot of like my figurized a while. I have her, the Kamen Rider Zero, and the Play 2, the new one that came out from the Gundam series. So that's probably gonna be on deck at the next couple of days. I don't know when yet.
Oh.
But yeah, and then for the Lacus bike riding, it reminds me of 02 so much. I don't know how I feel about it.
And
It
that
looks
ass
good.
is so huge.
Yeah,
That.
it's definitely appealing.
And look at that, it's really huge. Like surgery. You got surgery.
Dude, when I saw that movie, when that scene came up, it's all ass.
Yeah,
And
of course.
that
That's called
figure-
fan service.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. All ass. All the shots, close up.
I like.
Mid shot.
Yeah.
I like how they highlighted the part that this is a
Yeah,
solid
look
piece,
at
by the
the
way.
details.
Yeah.
They had to zoom in on the ass. They just had to.
Bandai.
So what does that mean
Bonk.
for? Is it like a parts former where you have to take the top part off,
Yeah.
like the chest, and then connect it to the body, right?
Yeah.
Because SH Figure Arts usually is just like one, like a figure, like the one on the left.
Yeah.
But this one they have a interchangeable part. Okay, I could see that.
Ooh.
You know what would be cool for this if they have the same scale bust for the Strike Freedom. That way, or at least the head, so that way she's like
Oh.
floating beside it. I think that would be neat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Scratch build
Oh.
opportunities right there.
Yeah.
That's a great idea.
Hardcore
But
fan
yeah.
for the series.
They also
I
feed.
just finished season 1.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, look at that guy's face.
That's me. He's all in, man. He's all in.
He loves it.
Yeah, I watched some of this. It's an hour and a half, so I wasn't able to finish it. I just saw some of it. I just skimmed through it. But basically, yeah, they had like special guests in here. We got the voice actor for Chow Yabul, and some
Yeah.
other MCs. It's cool. It's cool. Yeah, again, if you guys want to watch it, just head over to Gundam Info's YouTube channel. It's just it's cool. But yeah, the machinations. I'm not really. I don't know. I haven't. I want plastic model kits where I can build them. The machinations are already built, right? Like this.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know if I'm
They're
into
figures.
that.
If I'm right, they're figures, right?
Yeah, they're figures. They're not like off the box where you can like build them.
Yeah.
Well, the thing is like the brand and product is also new to me. And we are actually collaborating with them at Anime North
Oh,
this May.
Ooh.
Yeah,
nice.
I work with our clubs work with Plamod, which is our Canada distributor. They're like the direct source for Bandai. So Bandai
Oh.
funnels all the stuff through them, and then they distribute to the stores locally the products. Anime North is coming up in May, which is the largest anime convention in Canada.
Mm.
It's fan run, and my club, SIDE6, Gunpla Montreal, and Gunpla Ottawa, three clubs are joining to present a Gundam area in collaboration with Bandai. And this year we have Tamashi Nation as well as part of that booth. So like, yeah, it's gonna be a huge event, and I think they're gonna bring a lot of like some of the products as well there for showcasing. So we're looking forward to seeing hopefully some prototypes. I would love to get my
Mm-hmm.
hands
Mm-hmm.
and see some of the prototypes, the upcoming stuff. A lot of their metal builds are really cool. I do
Mm.
like them. I think they're really great design, especially the newer ones. Even the old ones, my favorite one, if I have the money for it, the Astray series. I'm a big fan of the
Mm.
Astray metal builds. I think they're really nice. But yeah, after seeing the G Quicks, after seeing the G Quicks itself and the RX or the alternate RX, it looks pretty cool in
Mm.
metal build. So hopefully they'll bring that as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it looks good. Looks solid.
Yeah. Actually, tomorrow we'll also be going to a. Is that a ToyCon, GP Miguel?
Yeah, it's a
Yeah, it's a con.
Toy-Con prelude.
Yeah. Yeah.
Toy-Con
It's
prelude.
Okada.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. So
Mm.
we'll be.
Where is it located?
It's in
Where's
Okada.
the
uh,
event?
Okada.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
It's a hotel.
It's
It's
in
an
Pasay.
exclusive.
When's the last time you went to the
Oh, I was
Philippines?
gonna say. Oh my God, I haven't been back since I moved here. So 94 was the last
Oh.
like cutoff for
Oh,
me.
Yeah. It's
Yeah,
too long.
the thing is
Too
like, yeah,
long.
I mean, we kind of used up all our resources to come here, and we
Mm.
just been rebuilding since. But I've been meaning to go back to Philippines, so that's probably something I'm looking at next year, actually.
all right.
Finally, coming back home.
Really? Why do you want to
Hit
go
us up,
back though?
bro.
This place is hot.
Change the scenery. I want to feel rich
Um,
again.
boom, man.
Take my dollar.
All right.
No,
That's
I want to see I want to see the beaches. Like I think
Oh yeah.
our resorts are probably top of the world
Hell
in
yeah.
quality. I
Mm.
have friends coming back from like Boracay, and the Thousand Islands visiting, and even Davao. They're like saying, "Yeah, it's pretty good out there
Yeah.
now." So
Yeah.
things I want to check out.
You should go to Siargao, bro.
Oh, there we go. That's another one.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Siargao. It's a good place.
yeah. After I breathe in some of that Manila fresh air, soak up
Mm.
that brown, thick Filipino
No,
air.
Yes.
no.
Rejuvenate my skin again.
Yeah.
With what? Smoke?
Smog, sir.
Smog.
Fog.
Smog.
Fog.
Mug,
We
bro.
don't have smoke here. Smoke is like one level below. We're going like three up.
Right,
Smog.
right.
Yeah. We're
Smog.
hardcore here. Yeah.
Hardcore, man.
When you go out the
Yeah.
house, the atmosphere is
It-
thicker. So that's the
yeah.
smog.
It turns into a fist and punches you in the face.
Yeah. You,
If you,
you just want to go back.
if you're ever in Metro Manila, just if you wanna meet up, just hit us up.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I have you
Yeah.
guys. I have so many other friends from like the IG community, FB
Mm.
community. Like, there's a lot of Filipinos in the stream too. That say like I got to visit. So every time when I do go back, I'm gonna see if I can get an extended stay. So I try to meet as many of you guys as possible.
Sure.
So yeah, for sure.
All right.
If I see AO in real life, I'll be all like, mabuhay.
Uy, mabuhay din, no? Mabuhay.
Kababayan.
Mabuhay.
Filipino! Filipino yan! Philippines!
Uy, Yeah. All right, that's it for the news. Let's move on to our main topic of the show, which is all about AO Mech, Mr. Ariel. All right, but
He's just some guy. He's just some guy, man.
first,
Yeah.
tell us about yourself and where can people find you.
Yeah, hi. Thanks for having me. My name is Ariel. I go by the handle AO Mecha. I'm quite active in a couple of like social media places. So if you want to see some photos of my whips and my finished work that I feature, it would be my Instagram. That's kind of like the photography place. And then I do live builds as well on Twitch. I usually stream Mondays and Wednesdays 8 p.m. Eastern, so that's Canada time. and I did have a lot of like YouTube content as well, but that one kind of has taken a back seat. I just find that like I'd have just don't have the time right now to do a lot of like edited content, but I do upload reviews where I can or unboxing where I can. And then also part of a Facebook community called Side6. You could find, and most of our members are from Toronto or Southern Ontario here in Canada, but it is open to international. A lot of our friends are from all over the place: USA, Philippines, Asia. We have friends in South America, as
Ooh.
well as Europe. So yeah, and right now our team is working with two other clubs to give a presentation and display at Anime North in May 23rd weekend. So if you guys are in Toronto and if you guys want to see a really cool display of Gundam, we have a competition, we have workshops, we have panels. Anime North, Gunpla and Model Area will be our thing. So yeah, what you're looking at right now is our community.
Mhm.
Oh, what's that? What's that?
Oh, wow.
I don't know what that is. So
Mm.
wow,
Oh.
wow, that
Oh,
looks like
Hey,
a
this is so
that
good.
looks
that's
like
you,
that looks like a transformer. That's is that Optimus Prime or
Bumblebee.
Bumblebee?
I think that's Voltes 5.
Bro,
Wow, ganda.
Bumblebee. Shut the fuck up.
Yeah,
Really good.
Side
I love
Six
that.
is just over 6 years old. We started just before pandemic, and a lot of our focus is not just Gunpla. That's why we didn't go for any type of Gunpla in the name. We wanted to open
Mm.
that up to
Okay.
other mecha. So it's more of a mecha community, which opens us up to Mansinger or like Voltus 5,
Mhm.
Macross,
Oh,
Yeah,
even
yeah.
Mackay. Like it just opens up that sci-fi mecha
Mhm.
realm instead of just focusing gun. But however, most of the communities do put in their gunpla, which is fine, and that's great. I love seeing their work. I myself am a big gunpla fan, and I build and paint model kits from gunpla mainly. But lately, I've been challenged as well to do other things. So I'm working on a Mospedia jet right now, as well as a Mackay, and eventually I want to get into I guess tanks because like, I've always been fascinated by them. But
Mm.
so the
yeah.
photos are just above that. If you scroll back up, that's from the event. Up, scroll down, down, down a bit. When you see the light on the Dwelge, that one. So that's from the event that happened this weekend. It's an IPMS event that I mentioned earlier on. It's called
Mm.
Heritage Con, and yeah, these are some of the gunpla that was entered. It has been increasing over the years, which is great. Working with IPMS and helping them, develop the mecha and promoting the mecha division of the competition just invites a lot more people to attend their shows. So yeah, thank you for Heritage Con for hosting.
All right.
Yeah.
I didn't even know
Uh,
IPMS does events. Like, I thought they were just local here in the Philippines.
No, they're
They moved
international.
to.
They have
Yeah.
IPMS all
International.
around the world. Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah,
yeah. It's
international.
very big. It's very big in the States. It's very big in Canada. It's growing in Canada. Definitely in the States, I find. There's also IPMS in Asia, I believe. I know Malaysia has one, Philippines has one,
Mm.
Japan. But obviously, like every local one's IPMS kind of different. They have a, from my understanding, they have an international rule set on how they judge and how they look at model kits, and that's the core value, like paint finish,
Mm.
build quality, seam line remover, etc. But then
Hmm.
each category kind of just differentiates based on the type. So there's different criterias for tanks, different
Mhm.
criterias for planes
Yeah.
Yeah.
and Gundam, etc. So, but the core value, and that's something that we said in our panel. So this year we had a panel in Heritage Con. Side 6 presented gunpla competitions, because I think a lot of people don't understand how GBWC work, or even we even talked about Orizaku and how that's like the next level of GBWC combatants, to say the least. But then you have the local events, like the theme builds from other communities. I was just in a community build off for um, a themed one where it was like grunts only. So all the suits you're gonna be making are
Oh.
just grunts, right? Or another theme was like summer. It's like, make your Gundam go play in the beach or something, or like something
Mm.
warm weather, have a surfboard, right? So it Gundam competition varies, and I think it's very fun, depending on what contest you enter to. I think themed ones are really good.
Mhm.
But for big gunpla events like GBWC or even local gunpla competitions, that's where you see kind of like a style of competition development, and there are certain things that I think judges look for when it comes to competition and how people win. GBWC, I think this one is very elusive and it's more of a speculation for us. But if every time you look at the winners for GBWC, one, they're super detailed.
Mm-hmm.
They're very nice. There's a story,
Yeah.
but it's more so for photography because like Bandai is
Mm.
ultimately using this for advertising. So
Yeah.
that's like the secret criteria. I think that a lot of people tend to forget when it comes to competition is like presentation is key,
Yeah.
especially online presentation is
Yeah.
key. Um, it's a bonus if you have all sides of your model kits. Like if you take a photo of it and it's like picture worthy,
Mm-hmm.
that's great. But if you have to choose one side of it, that's like your money shot. That's like your perfect shot,
Yeah.
and that's usually what will leverage your entry if it's going to have a higher score or not. And again, this is all just from my perspective. And but it has been a trend that I noticed that like especially with online competitions. In-person
Yeah.
competition is a different story
Mm-hmm.
because like you actually be able to see it in person without any lighting effects or
Mm-hmm.
there's no Photoshop adjustment to it.
Mm-hmm.
So there is that criteria that differentiates from online
Yeah.
contest and in-person contest.
Yeah. Yeah, interesting because I remember Miguel, you told us about that, right? That for us when because we are all planning to enter GBWC together. Miguel told us
Hmm.
that emphasize on the photography as well, because yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Because that's the first thing that you show before they invite you to the venue
Mm,
to display your work.
yeah.
So focus on the photography. Yeah, Area has a good point.
Yeah.
So capture the best angle of your build,
Mm,
Yeah.
the money shot.
Capture the
Money shot.
detail.
mm,
Yeah, exactly. The money shot. And yeah, the thing is like consistency. That's like probably the hardest part when it comes to contests. Like you got to make sure that everything. If you're gonna detail one part, make sure everything is detailed.
mm-hmm.
Yeah.
To the same consistency that you would.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So
Great tips.
yeah. So we see that we see that you have a community with Side6. You have a You're very active in your Twitch account. You also have a lot of following in your Instagram. But we would like to explore the side of Ariel that people don't. Let's start into
Oh
that. Like,
no.
let's get to
Yeah,
know who
sure.
you are.
Oh
So
Sounds
no.
good.
let's start at the beginning. Like, how did you start? How did you first get into like plastic model building or gunpla?
Okay. So my earliest memory of this was probably I was very small, kid. I was big into Transformers. My grandfather that I lived
Mm.
with, in Philippines. So I was born in Philippines. I grew up in Manila, Parañaque, to be
Mm.
specific,
Mm.
Mm.
till I was about 10. I lived with my grandparents for a couple of years there, and my grandfather's kind of a nerd too. Like we would watch Batman from like Adam West.
Oh
He would
yeah.
we would watch Transformers together, like the Saturday morning cartoon
Yeah.
stuff. Like we will watch, and almost every birthday or every Christmas or whatever, my gifts are always like either Transformer related, which is consistent, and I like that.
Man,
Uh,
that's the life.
yeah, like so I grew up with G1 Transformers. I've always loved robot. I think I have I really appreciate the transformation, the design. I'm very captivated at how things are put together. And then my first exposure to what a gunpla is or like a plastic model kit was like the Zaku from 1980s. There was like I remember going to the toys area and there's like a Transformers and you could see what it is through the clear plastic. And then there's a box of a Zaku. It was a green one, I remember it. And I was like shaking it. It's like, oh, what's inside? So a kid at SM Wall opens it up and go, huh, what's this? How come the toy is not assembled? What do you mean?
Dude.
Then I ask my grandfather, it's like, what is this? How come you have to put it together? And it's like, yeah. And then in my head, it's like, man, this feels cheap. Why would I buy this? Like I was so judgmental on it. It's like, oh God, like why do I have to create my own
Dude.
toy? Like there's factories for that, right? And that's me at like age 7. Um,
Right.
fast forward, I moved to Canada after 10. After I was 10, so I was like 11 when I got here. Again, very little resources as well because we spent it coming to Canada. But I somehow find ways to like acquire toys. Like I buy them from like garage sales or
Mm.
whatever, and I've always liked
Oh.
Transformers, right? But it wasn't until high school I met with a friend of mine. His name is Omar, and he was already starting work. And anyways, long story short, for my birthday, he bought me Gundam Wing, and I was actually
Mm.
watching Gundam Wing 2 around that time. So it was 95. Gundam Wing was big in North America at the time. People are getting exposed to this. I didn't know what it was, but because the Gundam Wing transforms, I was kind of like easy to get into it. I never got into the whole
Yeah.
robot that can't transform because
Oh.
it feels
Ah.
useless to me. Like you're a machine, you can only do one thing. I don't know, man. That's kind of like missed opportunity or something. But then when I saw the Gundam Wing transform, even though it's not a transformer, I was like, okay, that's cool. I could see the shield being the canopy and like the nose part. I could see the wings being the actual wing. So engineering wise, I was then captivated about it. So my first model kit was the Wing Proto, not Proto, the Wing Zero. I guess custom, but not the Endless Waltz version. It's the second season of
Yeah.
that 1/100 scale, and I don't have any tools. I don't know what a model kit is. All I know is like I'm supposed to put it together like a plastic puzzle. So that's in my head, plastic puzzle, right? So I started using a X-Acto blade to cut it because I'm like
Right.
plastic knife. I think this could cut it, right?
Mhm.
I didn't know what nub marks were. I didn't know what seam line removal was. And then
Mhm.
I'm like, oh my god, stickers? Why am I putting stickers on this? This looks so cheap. It looks like one of those Chinese knockoff brand toys. And I'm like, okay, whatever. So I built it. I'm like, okay. I want to see if I still like it. So I bought an Epion after that on my own savings, and I so that they match, right? But what I didn't know at the time that like the poly caps, the
Mhm.
rubber part are very loose,
Mhm.
so I can never get the heavy weapon up, and it looks so stupid. And they're just standing there at my desk going like, well, they're just robots now. Oh, whatever. I ended up not pursuing it afterwards because I didn't know. There was no internet at the time that's as intricate as we have today. There is
Yeah.
internet before, but it's not like there's no social network, there's no communities, there's no IG, there's
Mm.
no access to information,
Yeah.
right? So fast forward a little bit, Gundam Seed came along, and I was like, I didn't even think about Gundam until I saw Gundam Seed. I saw the first episode, and I'm like, oh, this is cool. Oh, it has multiple units of backpacks, and I got a little bit more mature. So about my taste in mecha and my taste in the nerd side, right? So now I'm like, I've done a lot of Transformers already. Like making like I'll venture back into Gundam, see what's up. But by this time, I met some people in a hobby store, and they build stuff. They do model kit customization, painting, and such. And I'm like, oh, that's how you paint the model kits, because I never knew that. I didn't know you're supposed to paint them. I thought you're supposed to just put them together, and away you go, right? So that art part captivated me a lot. My first airbrush was also a hand me down. It was like it's an Aztec airbrush system. It's plastic body. So
Mm.
imagine a
Oh.
really cheap plastic body airbrush and like a compressor for your tire. That was what I have. So the air is like there's no control on it. So it's just boom. And I have to be like this far from the piece to like even just get that, and then
Yeah.
there's just like giant blobs of like paint everywhere, and I'm like, this is not fun at all. Obviously I learned from that, and they're like, oh, you should buy a proper airbrush and a proper compressor, and I'm like, how much are these? I spent I think close to like $1,000
Oh my
just
Oh,
god.
to get
damn.
yeah, my first airbrush was an Iwata BSC, gravity feed. No, not gravity. It wasn't
Mm.
even before gravity feed. It was a siphon feed because I
Yeah.
figured if I buy more siphon bottles, I could mix the paints in each one of them. I could just reload like a magazine, which worked
Mm.
fine. Later on, I eventually switched to gravity feed because it's more economical and more. It's a lot less heavier than the siphon
Mm.
feed,
Mhm.
and at least for me, it's just a lot more easier to use. But yes, Gundam Seed is what got me back into it. I started collecting, I started building. I build whatever I can. I got really obsessive
Mm.
over it to a point where I'm like, okay, I got to start trimming down again. But yeah, no. And then fast forward to 2018, couple of years after that. Well, 2015, I was like, maybe this is not for me. I have a lot already. I actually was purging. 2015. So between 2012 and 2015, I was like collecting, and I'm like, oh my god, this is a lot. I had a small intervention, and I was like, you know what, cut it. So I was selling this on Kijiji. I was selling it on any market that I could find, even eBay. Fire sale. I have boxes of master grades, boxes of 1/100 kits, and I'm getting rid of them for like $60. You come pick it up, it's all yours. That's how I was just like just got rid of it. I wanted out. I was like, I'm done. I can't afford this. It's an expensive hobby. Um, and I swear to God, I think it's our fellow kin Filipinos that keep bringing me back into it, like you guys here in interviews. I met some Filipinos here locally, and they're like, "Hey, we would like to buy your kits." They're like, "Okay, cool." So they bought a good chunk of it. It's like,
Mhm.
why don't you build anymore? Like we have competitions. And I'm like, well, what do you mean? Because in my head, I thought I was the only one doing this, right? I didn't know about online competition.
Mm.
I didn't know about Facebook communities at the time. They're like, "Yeah, come join us." So I joined this group called Mecha Canada, and I was like, "Holy crap!" you were telling me every single province across Canada has like a little hobby like this and there's a lot of people. There was like hundreds of people joined up in this, and I'm like, I'm not alone. I felt like I found like the tribe of like gunpla
Yeah.
builders, and my
Yeah.
eyes was just like opened. I was like, holy crap! I met so many different modelers from across Canada and across the globe from that. It's not an active Facebook group anymore. I think there was a falling out in their admin,
Mm.
and they split off. And at the time too, there was a couple of local ones that start because that closed. A couple of local ones started, and I was like, yeah, I don't like how you guys are running things. It's like very cliquey or very gatekeeping or very like like territorial
Mm.
when it comes to it, and I'm not a big fan of that. Like, I think community building is about focus as a community and not like hidden agendas or very selective and inclusive. So me and a couple of friends decided like, well, why don't we give this a shot? Like, why don't we create a community that what we want to see, right? So some of the criterias for us was like, you have to build.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's the important part. Or we don't want to see backlogs or like, oh, what should I build? We don't care what's in your collection. You show us your build, and I think that's a lot more added value, not just for the community, but for yourself too, because that means you're actually opening something you bought. You bought it for a reason. You might as well enjoy it, right?
Yeah.
So Side 6 was created under the
Mm.
foundation of like community and quality first. So we like to help people with their builds. We like to showcase people's work. We don't want to see any like backlog boxes. If you want to showcase your backlog boxes, I have so many links for you in so many communities you could post them in. I'm happy to show you where they are, no
Yeah.
problem. With Side 6, our kind of like our mantra is like we built to inspire.
Mm-hmm.
Built to inspire is our slogan because like we built in many ways. It's not just model kits. We build networking with our
Mm.
partners, our sponsors. We build communities and collaborate with communities like IPMS Hamilton, or even
Mm.
our sister communities between Canada. Some of our closest ones include Gunpla Ottawa, Gunpla Montreal, and Vanpla. During pandemic, as Side 6 is just entering their second year in service, like we're gaining a lot of like people in the community that builds and showcase work. But during pandemic, because like there's no local competitions, um, what's it called? We decided to do our first national online competition across
Mm.
Canada. Never been done before. So I reached
Ooh.
out to many different clubs across Canada. I didn't even know small provinces have their own gunpla community. They have like 5 people in it, but that's fine. It's a community. They're still building. They're starting off. To some of the more established ones, like Vancouver is probably like the most established one. They're the oldest gunpla community in Canada. Montreal's close second, and then everyone else in between. At the end of the rounding up, I had like 12 gunpla communities across multiple provinces in Canada that collaborated into this amazing event online. Funny enough, oh, what's that news station in Philippines? Channel 25.
Mm.
In Philippines caught wind of this, and they actually interviewed me in a
Oh.
Philippine show.
Oh.
Oh.
Yeah, I have it on my Facebook. If you scroll down, you could probably find it there.
Okay.
So for
Let's look
15
for that.
minutes, usapang breakfast. Was it Usap Breakfast? Something like that. I forgot the name of the show because this is like
Unang
5
hirit?
years ago. Hindi yata eh. It's a breakfast show. Anyways, they were featuring people all over the world,
Magang
right?
kay
Like what?
ganda.
Mm.
Yeah, exactly. And I talked about the Gunpla event because like the Gunpla is rising again because of the pandemic. I think there's a lot of people that got invested into a hobby, and that's why I
Yeah.
think Gunpla and Gundam rose during the pandemic, which is great for us. And I was also at the time we're also friends with Gunpla Network, and they also published
Ooh.
a lot of our stuff at the time. Yeah, the owner of Gunpla Network, he's from Montreal, so just province over. I've met him a few times as well. Good guy. He is. And then yeah, Side 6 as a community has been always open to collaboration. I've also flown down in the States. I met up with some of the people from Gunpla, Utah. I met up with some people from Gunpla, New York. I even went to Mexico. I didn't get a chance to meet the people from Gunpla, Mexico, but like we chatted over Messenger. And I think that um, with our technology and the way we communicate in our current present time is probably one of the best time to live in regards to like our hobby, because we're connected, or we can be connected with so many people around the world that enjoy the same hobby, and that's what I like about it. So yeah, and now SIDE6 has grown a lot. We're invited to a lot of like events locally. We're helping our partner stores help with advertising that what stores has what carries like Gunpla or paint supplies, tools, that kind of stuff. And we're also doing workshop and panels to help new builders or even advanced builders techniques on how to build model kits and paint. So I'm very happy how it has progressed. And I'm not saying this as an easy thing. This is just obviously a summary
Mm-hmm.
of many years of consistent work towards developing it.
Yeah, thank you for
And
sharing that. Uh,
yeah,
yeah. So
and that's at the club.
yeah. That's just side 6. We haven't
That's
counted
just
the
side
Twitch yet.
six.
But before we get to your Twitch, I saw this written in your Twitch account. It says that you are an interior designer project by day and a Gunpla mech builder by night.
Yeah.
So you are an interior designer, am I correct? You were.
I so it's my role has been progressively changing over the years.
Mm-hmm.
My official
Oh.
I just started new work actually in an architectural firm. I'm just crossing my 6 months with them.
Mm-hmm.
My official title is BIM manager, or sorry, BIM lead for interior design. So
Mm-hmm.
interior design is a schooling I did.
Mm-hmm.
I did graduate interior design and been in the architectural field for many years. And my focus is interior designs, but BIM is also my department and project management. So I do a lot of project management. I do a lot of like site reviews.
Mm-hmm.
Do a lot of like consultant coordination,
Uh-huh.
contractor coordination, and it's focused on interior fit out.
Mm-hmm.
I've done a lot of projects ranging from retail, commercial, corporate, and currently I'm doing hospital projects right now.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm helping develop these institutes that would help communities for health, mental health, and rehabilitation. So
Mm-hmm.
it's been also kind of like my parallel journey.
Mm-hmm.
I'm very I like participating in things that would help people.
Uh-huh.
Mm.
Gunpla helped me in regards to honing artistic
Mm-hmm.
and creative thinking
Yeah.
that I could apply in other fields,
Mm-hmm.
especially with my work. Leading a community helped me with organization,
Yeah.
task management, and
Oh.
and communicating with people, which translates to clients or
Mm.
coordination with consultants, that kind of thing. So a lot of what I do, I try to make sure that like it's interchangeable between fields, because a lot of the stuff is
Mm.
really almost the same. We
Mm-hmm.
build stuff. I build buildings and I build model kits.
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of
Yeah.
like the same process.
Yeah. So yeah. Yeah, it's interesting. Also, I would just like to shout out Josh. Josh is a big fan of you. He says he's a friend of the show, and he's also a mental health advocate. And it's interesting that we run into so many people who are into Gunpla and who are into the mental health aspect of it as well. It just shows
Mm.
that Gunpla it can be a therapeutic thing.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So yeah, you were able to. You said that being a project manager, being interior designer, where you design buildings, you can apply it to your to make a building and all that. And scrolling down on your
Mhm.
Facebook, I saw that you are also a an artist. You do colorings.
Oh my God, yeah, it's
Yeah.
been a while. Digital art. So between Gunpla and my early ages, especially in college, I was a big comic book collector,
Uh-huh.
an art illustrator as well. This one here is a collaboration with my friend Johnny. He's actually an illustrator right now, very successful illustrator, independent. He goes to conventions. Shout out to Johnny. And yeah, I tried getting into digital arts,
Mm.
coloring and all that. So I used Photoshop, I think, on this one and a tablet. I actually did want to become a comic book illustrator when I was
Mm.
younger. Things like inspiration is like Jim Lee, Michael Turner,
Mm-hmm.
Silvestri, and so much more. The last artists I followed were like Rocafort, and oh, what was that other? It's Rocafort and Townsend. Really great artist.
Jason Townsend.
Um, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
There we go.
yeah.
So yeah, like I've always liked comic book arts
Mm.
as well, but I find that like it was such a challenging field that like I there's such a small percentage of people that would make it big. and in a consistent basis. And I don't think that that suited the type of lifestyle I was aiming for, because like I think it's going to be very restrictive. I don't think I was able to do the freelance work kind of thing, because like I feel like I'm more comfortable doing corporate work where I collaborate with a lot of people to, big projects kind of thing. So I think I excelled more in that. But I never let it go. I still draw. I apply the same kind of like artistic approach to any project. I always look. Here's the thing for me. Like I look at model kit as an art form more so than like if we compare it to a tank where it's historical accurate, I'm more for like visual appearance and visually
Oh,
appealing projects, because I like the storytelling aspect. I like the creative aspect. I like the the build aspect where you could customize it. I love kit bashing. I love scratch building. I'm trying to get into LED work next, because that's something I haven't been able to do properly before. And I'm talking with people like, big shout out to Otaku Builder, another friend of mine. I don't know if you guys follow him
Yeah,
on
yeah.
YouTube. James and I did a collaboration earlier last year, where we kit bashed kits for the Final Fantasy event, because Final Fantasy Rebirth, I think part two came out, and so he did a cloud custom using a bunch of Gundam parts, and I did Barrett using heavier Gundam parts as well. And the YouTube video is on his channel. Big shout out to him. Yeah, that's right here. So that's his. And if you scroll, I don't know if you scroll down, you should have that one right there is mine, the Barrett one.
oh.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I saw this on your Instagram too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so Barrett is with, and I'm gonna probably mail my kit to him later on. But in Instagram, you can see all types of work I have here. A lot of them are from many different sizes and scales and topics and themes. So yeah,
So your
Nice.
your
that
your work with digital art, I saw that you were into you were responsible for the coloring for those. So when it comes to painting, does it relate? Like, do you apply the same principle when it comes to you know, painting?
so same principle in regards to color combination and aesthetics. Process is different,
Mm.
because with digital you're dealing with like generated light versus a paint application. Pigments tend to react differently depending on your base. So primers help that, pre-shading helps that. um, Different types of paint does different things. So for example, metallic paints, you shouldn't put like like a top coat on it because you want it to shine, or you should not leave paint on without top coat because they may scratch. In
Mm.
regards to paint blending, painting yellow, here's a trick, guys. Use pink before you put yellow.
Yeah,
Otherwise, you'll be a hard time getting that yellow in there.
Why? Why?
it will be a
Why?
crap.
Why pink?
The pigment saturation of a warm color helps bond the very thin, semi-transparent feel of a yellow, so it
Mm.
has a
Yeah,
backer for it, and it just reflects the yellow a little bit better. So there is
Yeah.
color formula, color theory applied when it comes to paint.
That is so
yeah.
cool.
You can still paint. You can still paint it on gray, but it
Yeah,
will crap.
it it
It
will
will look
have like a
dull.
different color effect. I've also seen people use
Desaturated.
green
Mm.
Yeah,
for
green.
yellow. Yeah, so that's another thing too. So there is color theory in layering when it comes to
Yeah,
colors.
I think also you can use green and black and blue
Yep,
when
green and
you.
blue. But that will give you a more like darker tone but vibrant
Yeah,
yellow.
yeah.
Whereas if you go with pink or red, it will give you a more softer glow yellow, like orange
Yeah.
yellow kind of thing.
Glowing, a really glowing yellow. Yeah.
Yeah. And if you really want to be super saturated, hit that with a transparent yellow, because that's
Yeah.
what helps with the saturation.
Yeah, that's true. Real bright
Oh.
rail.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. I'm learning so much here. Justin should
Yeah,
be
and the
Yeah.
here.
thing is, I learned it too. I learned it
Oh,
too from other
yeah.
artists. So when I was doing interviews for YouTube, but yeah, AO Mecha didn't really start till about 28, like during pandemic, really, because like I was locked at home, and I'm like, well, I have a natural kind of like curiosity for things, so I wanted to learn how people stream. The first couple of streamers I saw was like a Child of Mecha,
Mm.
and who else was streaming at the time? It was Child of Mecha and Zacharelius.
Oh, yeah.
They do
Yeah,
Exactly.
builds and
Zacharelli.
all that stuff. Um, a lot of the stuff there is like, oh, that's really cool. I chatted with them too, and they write back, so I knew it was real time. The fact that like people reply back to the chats, I thought that was kind of neat. That was really cool. You're actually connecting with someone that's doing something
Yeah.
live. So for me, I was like, well. I'm very curious. So when I'm like, I decided to like, you know what, I like Gunpla too, and I want to kind of try streaming. I think it's fun because it will help me with my presentation. Number two, it will help me with like, how do I talk in a virtual setting like this?
Mm-hmm.
Like, like I'm used to talking in person, but like, am I possible to talk without anybody here at home? Literally, it feels like I'm talking to myself, right? Like, can I get
Mm.
past that? What type of equipment did I need? So my first stream ever on Facebook, um, I used a computer that was decommissioned at work. So they were going to throw out this laptop. It's an i5
Uh,
old heavy laptop. And I also fix computers too. So I'm a bit of a nerd that way. So I took their laptop, put a new hard drive, fixed it up, went to Amazon. I'm like, okay, well, what do streamers use? Because I have zero budget for this. I have no budget at all. So I bought like a webcam and a condenser mic. So the setup was so garbage. And this me going like, what do I even want this to be? I don't know. Maybe I'll look at people's IG and then showcase them. Or maybe I'll do a build review of a kit that I did. I'll take photos of it. There's many ideas coming around, but what I wanted to do obviously is a presentation format, and that took a while to do. So learning OBS, learning how to stream, what platform to do. The year one was really difficult because like I was literally guessing all the time. Like, am I doing this right? Is this right? What the hell is OBS? What the hell's graphics? Right? So lots of learning curve. But my thing on that one, my takeaway for anybody that's thinking of streaming, try it. If you are don't think, overthink it. Sometimes just running and learning along the way is probably like one
mm.
of the best ways to improve on. So that's what I did. I just ran with it. Then over time, I started thinking, okay, well, I do need a better camera. I need a better top down. Yeah. So these are some of my oh man, from what we're doing now. I've bought a lot of equipment since, obviously, more cameras, more lenses, better computers. I have like three computers set up right now
Mm.
in front of me, to run it. One for work, obviously, but the other two are like for production and streaming. But yeah, it was over time, and I think my first sponsor came after episode three. Episode three of me doing it is my first interview with Nicholas Diada Sanchez, and we were talking
Mm.
about something, and then of someone in the chat goes, "Hey, I like what you're doing. We should chat." And I'm like, "Yeah, that's cool, man, for sure." So he added me, and we started chatting on Messenger. It's like, "Hey, I like where you're going with your segments. I think you're gonna do great." And this is me going like, I have like a $40 webcam and a condenser mic, but if you think it's great, fantastic. USA Gundam store owner was the one I was chatting with, and he didn't know at the
Oh,
time. And he's like, "Yeah, I would like to sponsor you. Would you be interested?" And I'm like, "I'm sorry, who are you?"
Woo!
Yeah,
man.
so I worked with USA Gundam store for a while. I haven't in a while as well, because like obviously we have different paths now. The last year, so I've been partnering up with more of the local Canadian ones, so Argama Hobby, Wheels and Wings, some of my local ones. But I've gone through many iterations of supporters and sponsors. Another thing too is like, one thing that I always keep in mind is like, don't be too blinded by the sponsorship. I don't think it's a goal that is something that you sought after. It helps, but you got to be also true to what you believe in regards to like your content you're
Mhm,
creating. Don't let
mhm,
other influence your the way you're proceeding and that kind of, and they haven't yet, but at the same time it's like, work with partners that would help you grow.
mhm,
Because if they help you grow, you help them grow, everybody wins.
Mm.
And the
That's
hardest
true.
part I think in all of this was, the hardest part in any content creation and streaming is consistency.
mhm,
Consistency and effort are like the hardest challenges you will be faced in. Everything else, you're natural. You know what you're doing. You have a niche. You're presentable. You're already doing the startup. It's just maintaining that part is probably like the hardest part of the business, of content creation. If you're out there for money, you're gonna have a hard time because you're
mhm.
gonna have to keep going and going. Don't rely on gimmicks.
Yeah.
That's another thing too. A lot of like the I've seen a lot of like content creators that rely on the tropes, thinking that they know a lot of stuff or they talk the big game. A lot of this, like when people, and especially when I look at like, people that do stuff, it's like, oh, how consistent they at their work, how are they presenting themselves and all that stuff. So for me, I was inspired by a lot of different modelers and content creators, so that one, I stay grounded, stay humble, because I
Mm.
think that's very important for me. That I help where I can. If I'm asked to participate in an event that I think it's going to be great, I'm 100% down. Like here, this interview, guys, you're doing amazing work. I went to your YouTube, I
Thank
saw
you.
it. Like the content creation, the quality production is there, and it's the vibe too. You guys have this like really awesome brotherly vibe happening there. So I was very very happy to see that, and I wish you nothing but the best and growth. So keep it up.
Thank you.
But then
Thanks,
yeah,
man.
and I know appreciate her being here. But then I've seen a lot of content creators like they will do like the big flash everything, and they don't last more than a season,
Hmm.
right? And they get burnt out. So burnout is something I really do can say that is real. I've been burnt out a few times as well. But the thing is, I keep coming back anyways because like I like what I do. I like communicating. I like showing the community the work and showcasing the community as well. So that's the hard part of it, and I think it just kind of ties in with work. The building needs to be built, you know.
Hmm.
So
Yeah.
we kind of have to just keep at it. So yeah, consistency, effort, and energy, those are probably like the most driving factor I'd say that would help any content creator um be successful on their thing, be it at content creating or even at work or at life.
Mm.
Thank
All
you.
right.
Thank you so much for sharing that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. This always, the things you went through, from going from the Philippines to there and to creating your own Twitch, having your own follower, having your own group. It's all inspiring. So thank you for that. But let's, if we have GP here and Miguel to ask you a few questions about like Gunpla building because that's their
Yeah,
All
specialty.
right.
And
absolutely, let's
get
go.
away, Miguel.
All right. So all right. Before I go into the questions, the Gunpla building questions, I resonated when you told the story about when you first found out about the Gunpla kits,
Yeah.
because that's my exact reaction when I first got
Yeah.
my Gunpla kit in an SM mall. So as
Yeah.
a kid, right, you buy your toy, you expect it like a transformer. You open it, you get the toy, right?
Yeah.
So when I first bought my Gunpla kit, it was an SD heavy arms. So when I opened it,
Okay, yeah.
same reaction as you. What the hell is this?
Actually,
And
yeah. Yeah.
you know what I did? I built it in the mall,
Oh, you
and I
did.
lost the view. Yeah, dude.
Yeah, my first.
I, wa-
Yeah. Go ahead.
I didn't have any tools, so I was pulling them out of the sprue.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm like, okay,
Snap it
maybe if I
off.
twist it this way, it wouldn't look as bad. And I even use my nail to like just like scrape off some stuff. It's like it's thin plastic. I'm just gonna scrape it off.
Me the first
Sorry, man. Sorry.
me the first my first exposure with Plaro is not actually with Gunpla. It's with Tamiya 4WDs.
Okay, yeah,
You
yeah.
aware about you know about that? So yeah, that was
Yeah,
my
I
first
have. I
exposure.
have a DCR one. That's my favorite car.
Mm.
So I have a DCR one in storage, and I have the Lightning something, which
I
is
have
like
the
the
classic
more.
here.
Yes, you have a classic.
The
Oh wow,
Magnum
that's
brake.
cool.
Magnum.
I
In the
painted
game.
mine as well. Did you just use
Oh.
stickers? So I
I
I
just used to
custom
stick.
painted one of mine.
Yeah.
Yeah, like in the game. Cut to them, Magnum! The PS1 game.
Yeah.
Let it go.
So, all right. So recently, you placed second in Mecha Apocalypse. Congratulations, bro.
Thank you. Thank you.
Can you tell us about your entry and what was the concept and what techniques did you use on that?
Awesome. So, backstory on that, Mechapocalypse, shout out to Metal Man X and the community out there. Did a really good hosting of the event. It's the first charity event for that group, which is great. They donated a couple of $100 raised from the event to a hospital. I forgot which one it is, but like it was a really good donation from the community. The event was it's a build off challenge. It's only no, it's an open scale, and there's two categories. One is build expert, like advanced, and then there's the beginners. So I went for the build open. I was going up against a whole bunch of other entries, amazing entries, 100 scales and 144. Things to factor in on this one: I'm super busy with work, so I don't really have that much time during this point because I just started new work. Things are ramping up, and so I decided to go with a high grade route because I know it's open anyways. A lot of the folks Here's another thing too, and it's more of an observation, not a criticism, but like time management in competition is probably one of your biggest adversaries because it's always going to be against you. Unless you're really good at time management, time will be your biggest challenge because you have a lot of like crazy ideas that you want to do, but if you're not experienced to do it, that will hinder the make or build of the model. So for me, I actually got injured on a soccer game on January. My right thumb actually popped out
Ooh.
and
Oh,
I
damn.
was I was I wasn't able to build at all. That's why I said I wasn't able to. I was in hiatus in February because I got an injury, and I was
Yeah.
busy as well. So most of the build here was towards the latter part of February, just to catch up. So the base kit for this one I used is the high grade Sheridan Saga, which is a build fighters
Mm.
version of the Sheridan from Double O. I love the Double O series, but at the same time I thought that would, but just the out of box it looks kind of weak, a little bit of like uh, I want to say disproportionate in regards to the scale and mass of the silhouette. So, but I also didn't want to deviate too far because like I think for my build, I wanted to focus on paint application and storytelling,
Mm.
just to enhance the kit. So light customization on this. Simple things. One, I changed the head unit from the Gundam type to a more mecha type because at the time I was at Pinterest too. Also, Pinterest guys, awesome space
Mhm,
to
mhm,
get inspiration.
Yeah.
I like the whole cyberpunk feel. I like
mhm,
the whole kind of like alternate mecha that doesn't look like a humanoid face. So I found a 30-minute mission head. I replaced it
mm,
with that. I replaced the shoulder left with a Kyokusenki shield.
Mm.
The arm braces is from the high grade Easy SR. The
Nice.
two all the weapons here in regards to guns are still stock. So the sniper rifle on the side is still the stock version. The pistols are still the stock version. The leg holsters, like the side skirt, is it looks so stupid on this kit. So I took the stock out and I replaced it with like a more simpler side skirt.
Yeah.
And then for the lower portion, I decided to go with an asymmetrical look. So the
Mhm.
Saga Sheridan has two mid rifles or like mid range rifles. I replaced the left leg with the bit because I think it's a cooler weapons package. And I'm gonna go to the whole weapons. There's actually a story behind the weapons why I chose all of that later on. And then the lower blue armor on the side calves and the front of the leg. That's from a which from Mercury Kit, the gun Volva. So I took apart the leg of a gun Volva and placed the armor on that. I was inspired by the Dual Gundam with the Assault Shroud as kind of like the armor package for this. And then for the color scheme, I didn't want to go with the traditional Gundam colors with like the primary or whatever.
mhm,
I've not painted a blue kit in a while as well, so this is kind of a test for me. So I went with a more blue armor and a kind of like a desert tone inside, just to show that like when you think of like military soldiers and then they have like their heavier gear on top, they have the
Right.
base
Mhm.
color inside, and then what I'm thinking is like if you take the armor off, it could still function. It just doesn't have the armor on.
Mm.
So that was the motif for the color scheme for this. Now for the weapons, all of them this is the most well-rounded I think of a weapons package. You have a long range for the sniper rifle, you have the
Mhm.
mid-range battle rifle on the leg, you have close quarters combat for the pistols. They also have the two axe behind on the backpack, so I left that in there. It's the axe gun.
Oh.
And for a drone support, that's where I put the left leg, the GN bit, because it is an offensive and defensive weapon, right? So in a way, and
Mm.
then also mini rocket pods, just for super super long range or small anti-vehicle kind of thing. So the weapons package, I was really thinking about like I want this to be all-rounded machine. Um, and then the diorama afterwards, I like placing people in my builds to show
Mm.
scale. I think it does help elaborate the story a bit,
Yeah.
and gives like that realism, like how tall is this in real life? The yellow lifter on the side, that one's a 3D printed resin resin print. A friend of mine, Johnny Yu, printed that one for me. And then the other ones at the side, they're just and the people too, the hanger crew people are resin printed.
Oh.
And it's my first time using resin printed as part of a diorama. I've never really like used any of the resin printing before,
Mhm.
but I thought this was a good opportunity to kind of get out there and add to the story. In regard and the paint job on this one, main base color was done in airbrush. Big shout out to Gallery Airbrush. They are sponsoring this airbrush. I think they sponsor everybody now. I don't know. But yeah, Gallery for the airbrush. I used the Mobius 3, and then I hand painted the rest of the details and used sponge method. For the scarring
Mm.
and the actual battle damage, I actually used like a knife and like cutting tools to give that the broken armor feel to it. So I was digging, I was cutting, all
Mm.
that stuff for it to give it that more realistic feel. Do note for those guys who are thinking of doing weathering and battleware, um, and this is for me too, and I say this to myself, you got to make sure that it's scale accurate, because like
Mm.
sometimes people forget that like these are like 4 stories high of tall of a mobile suit. You got to make
Right.
sure that like the scarring is realistic. Also be mindful of how it gets the scar. So for example, the
Mm.
shield will take more beating than the inside armor. Like there's no point of having like the under chest have scratches and dents if it's not going to be exposed to weather or battle. So those are the
Yeah.
stuff that are takeaway. And then decals are from all over the place. I use some from Haikyuu, Bandai, G Reworks. But yeah, that was the build. Very happy to play. So it was a really tight competition. There was a lot of like really really amazing builds as well on that competition. So yeah,
Congrats, man.
When you
thank you.
mentioned that you were focused on the storytelling for this diorama, this kit, I got that. Like it's under in a hanger,
Yep.
and when you mentioned about the weathering, love that too.
Yeah,
Oh, thank you.
it's kind of like a battle tested soldier
Mm.
Yep.
where you
And yeah,
just
exactly. And they're just getting ready for the next mission. They didn't have
yeah.
time to like build it for as long as the mech could still work. Another thing too
Mm.
here that I've experimented on, I used instead of using the reflective green stickers, which I usually do for the eyes and such, I used fluorescent green.
Oh.
Oh.
So to get that reflection. So before the fluorescent green, there's like a white primer, like a little tab at the bottom, and then you put your light. Your fluorescent green on top, and then it's light reactive. So when you have just a little bit of light, it glows. And I try to put them in dark places to give it that extra push for the lighting.
Mm. So, Ariel, do you have a signature style or technique that you always use or is always present in your builds?
That's a good question. It's not more so for like style or technique, because I think I like to experiment with every build. Sometimes I'll do a super clean build, sometimes I'll do super weathered,
Right.
sometimes it's stock, sometimes it's kit bash. I just like to experiment, but something that is consistent on that is like it's my favorite color. So my favorite color is orange,
Mm.
and
Oh.
almost every build that I have, except for yeah, I think I'm pretty sure every build that I have would have like a little like hint of orange in that, be it a small piece or like the full piece.
Oh.
So when people look at your build and they notice that big part of orange or tiny bit of orange, they'll be like, "Oh, shout out Ayo."
Yeah,
Ayo.
so for yeah, so you could tell that there's like oranges in them. So like the Zaku will have an orange pauldron. The what's it called? The dual Emerald has an orange one as well. Yeah, like well,
They
most of my
do
friends
pop
they
out.
also joke.
This is beautiful.
Sorry?
The
Oh
orange
yeah,
does pop
thanks.
out. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's very mechanical, very technical. It just kind of like
Yeah.
blends in well with a lot of the builds too. So yeah,
Yeah. So
yeah.
I really love hearing this from other builders. So, what are your favorite materials to
Wait, wait, wait,
use?
wait, Miguel.
What?
Sorry. Ariel, what's the story
Oh, wait,
behind
wait.
this?
Oh, wait.
It's not mine. It's not mine. I found it. I was like I laughed way
Oh,
too long than I should have on this one, but I was like, oh, magdasal tayo.
make
Magdasal muna tayo. Pagdasal natin ang mga Gundam natin.
Mega
So
Jesus.
Mecha Jesus. Damn.
Yeah, we can update that to a much Gen Zer term. Mecha
yeah.
suso.
I would join this religion, bro.
Exactly. The house of Mecha. Bless you, my
Yeah.
child.
When he goes like this, is going for a tactical nuke.
Yeah.
No.
What?
Yeah, tactical nuke. He's calling it down.
Yeah. Orbital strike from
Yeah,
above.
yeah, yeah.
Divine orbital strike.
Orbital strike.
Right.
Dear God.
You asked about materials. Were you
Yeah,
talking
yeah,
about
yeah, yeah. Yeah,
like
your
the
favorite.
plot plates?
Yeah, your
I'm
favorite
very
tools, techniques, something like
uh
that.
uh, so I've worked a lot with high grades the last while. You'll probably see it in a lot of my
Mm-hmm.
builds when I do high grades. 30-minute mission kits, 30-minute mission parts are probably a godsend. It's pretty much free parts. Oh, sorry, let me rephrase that. Affordable parts for you to use the kit bash because they have a lot of like joint movement, peg
Those
movement,
things,
um,
yeah.
yeah, and it's just like they don't have any stories. They're just like there for use. I think any
Mm.
chance I get build parts. Actually, where can I find anything here? Hang on, 1 second. Ah, I have this giant bag of parts, and inside this, literally, I buy like a whole bunch of like the what do you call this? Like the build Bandai
No,
build
the
parts
builder,
or like
Uh,
the
builder parts.
builder parts. Yeah,
Um,
love
I
those.
buy them in badges, batches. Like I bought like I think how many do I have here? I have one, two, three, four different panel because I just need like these guys here mainly. I don't care about the rest of them, but for as long as I have this, I finished off a store at one point because I'm like, oh, you guys got more, give me all of that. And this whole bag is just tons of like all the build like these guys here, like all the build parts I'll ever need. So this is like my bag of shame. It's like I go to a store
Oh
and
man.
it's like, I'm not gonna pick up anything today, but you know what? Since I've already traveled all the way here, I might as well get something. So it's like I'll buy like build parts because like later on, if I'm gonna customize, it's better to have and not need, and then need
Yeah,
to and not have, right?
Mm.
So I get
Yeah.
paranoid when it comes to that. So I was like, I'll just get more parts. I'm here already.
I heard.
Dude, you're
I've heard
set
that
for life
saying
with
from
those
Mark
parts.
Portnoy.
Sorry, there were two things. Which one is what?
Sorry, go ahead first, GP.
GP.
I mean, with all those parts, you're set for life.
Yeah,
I hope so.
yeah. You got Trusterville
Yeah.
spikes.
Yeah,
Does it
everything.
have cables?
I do.
Cables?
I don't have the metal ones here, but I bought some of the metal pipes. But
No.
cables are like metal cables are a lot easier to find. I think you could also use bass guitar line, bass guitar strings.
Yeah,
They're
yeah,
very
Mm.
yeah.
thick.
I
Another thing with
have
like
those.
Gunpla and customization, like treat it as an artwork. You're not really limited to just the plastic, right? There's so many
Mm.
other. First, plastic is plastic. You could use like a bottle of soda cap. You could use that, or even the plastic piece that secures the plastic of your bread. I know people use that as like veneers, for example.
Mm.
I also have like a
Yeah,
whole bunch of tools that I use. I think the most expensive tool I have here is I'm probably gonna use this like once in a while. This is a God hand
yeah. I need that.
straight cutter. So I
Yeah.
have one of this, and this is like $200 of
Damn.
cutting tool, right? So it's like, do I need it? Probably not. Not all the time, but do I have it? Yes, I do, just in case, kind of thing.
Yeah, just in
Um,
case.
yeah, it's just in case. But the thing is, guys, also a note for all users watching: the hobby is only as expensive as you're willing to put in there,
Mm.
right? Be
Yeah.
smart about how you purchase. Be smart about the tools you have. Not having the highest S rank tool doesn't mean you're gonna have a bad experience with the gunpowder
Mm.
hobby. You could work with whatever tools you. You know what? I still have my oldest nipper here, and this is a reminder of like where I started from. This is like one of
Oh,
my oldest like build. Hang on, let me see if I could get that zoomed in. This
I
thing
still
has
use
chewed
that.
so much, plastic over the years. This thing chewed up metal at some point, but that to me is a reminder that like that's where you came from. Don't
Yeah.
forget. And now, obviously, we're like, you're using like, Steady's highest brand S tier, whatever nipper. I have like five different God hands somewhere sitting down there. I have even one that's like looks like a what do you call it? Like a knife handle, like the butterfly knife from Hobby Mio, right? So I've
Balisong.
used a lot of
Uh,
tools, but it comes down to experience. The hobby is as you make it, and just having the having a high tier tool helps, but it doesn't mean that it's necessary.
Mhm.
So be wise in your spending. Obviously take care of priorities like food, shelter, and your family.
Bills.
And
Duh.
unless you
Yeah,
have friends that are like enablers like me, where I'm like, well, for your next build, maybe you should check out this new kit by
bro.
Bandai. Like this guy right here.
Oh, or
Ariel, I need food.
Eat plastic. Eat plastic. You're a big boy. You don't need any more food.
see those knobs, just add milk.
Bro.
So, how do you balance making content and taking the time to build and improve your craft? How do you do
That's a
that?
really good question. I do it at the same time, so sometimes building while I'm
Oh,
streaming actually helps.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Because then that's one out of my backlog. I could build it, I could review it. So all three of the major content creation is there. And then if I'm building for a tournament like the one that I did, I built that live and then I customized it live and then I just painted out
Oh.
of that. So it's kind of like interchanging or overlapping workflow
oh, so you're like documenting your process and
while
learning at
streaming
the
it
same
live.
time.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And then yeah,
Hmm.
so
Guys,
it's all in one shot. Yeah,
maybe we should go into streaming
maximizing time.
too.
I was gonna say I think this is a good platform for streaming. You select a time. The only downside I found with streaming is the time zone differences. If your audiences are in North America, that means you have to target like their prime hours.
Mm,
8 p.m.
Hmm.
here is 8 a.m. there,
yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So that's the only thing. I'm not saying it's not doable, but I think building your community based on your current content is a good start. And you could do maybe once a month. That way, everybody's targeted. Like you'll do your news, you'll do your. And this, I'm not telling you how to do your job. I'm just suggesting, by
Mm,
the way, as a workflow. To build your content, do it as an exclusive. Like, hey guys, it's the end of the month. Let's do our live stream at X. And then that way they have a whole month to know that you
mm,
guys are going to be streaming Saturday night,
Mm.
9 p.m. live in Philippines, kind of thing, right? So
Mm.
yeah, but yeah, like I've done a lot of like various times, like because obviously I have to cater with people from Asia as well. So when I was
mhm.
talking with Choco Falcon, who's the GBWC champ, yeah, all my friends are like GBWC champions. This is great, and I'm just some guy, and I'm just
You're
this guy
no,
going
no,
like,
Ariel. You're next.
No, don't say that.
You're next.
Don't say that.
You're like,
yeah. So I was talking with David, and obviously there's a 13-hour gap difference, so I had to pre-roll some of the recordings ahead of ahead of the interview. But they're willing to stay up. Like I had a friend from UK who's 5 hours ahead, so it was like 3 a.m. when we were doing our interview here, and they stayed. So I think I think guests will make effort to attend, but if you guys do live streaming, it's awesome. It's a different feel and
Mm.
rush. I think
yeah.
you guys will do great if you guys do live streaming.
Yeah, we can curse at them live.
Yeah,
Come on, come
no
on,
censor.
Miguel. That's the
Beep.
first thing that came into your
Beep.
mind.
What's up, mother peepers?
Yeah, we'll definitely take that into consideration. I'm trying to explore the streaming space as well for us.
Mhm.
Yeah,
I
Oh,
like your setup. I like how we both have purple
hell yeah.
on our color here,
Yeah.
man.
I have purple on my mic.
Yeah, there it is. I like the glow on that too.
Green, green,
Oh
green,
man.
green.
Ariel, I have to ask, what's your favorite Gunpla kit of all time?
Well,
Gunpla.
wow. You just went for a heavy question. Favorite
Yeah.
gunpla kit of all time. I built a lot of kits, therefore there's a lot of different ones that I did enjoy. I think the most I enjoyed and probably my favorite kit to work with would be the Revive Zeta high grade. It is one of the most stable
Ooh.
transformation, solid transformation, the most opportunity for scribing and customization. And I'm a big fan of the Wave Rider for that. So that one's
Or
definitely up there. Yeah. And design too. It doesn't look like the 80s. It's definitely a bit of a redesign to that one. Yep,
Yeah.
this guy right here. Probably one of my favorite ones. Not the RG. The RG is a freaking grenade. Don't bother with
Yeah, it
that.
sucks. It sucks. I'm
does this
uh,
have
I'm actually building that
the
one.
launcher?
it
Yeah,
has the
it has
hyper
that.
mega launcher. It does, yeah. So
I'm
I
actually
think
building
for
that one.
yeah, I have like three of these in my backlog. Just in, like I bought
Eh.
too much just because like I don't know when I'm gonna use it. I'd rather have it, so I have three in my backlog. Second to that would be it's a tie. I like the Exia, but not the ankle for it. I think the Exia was a really good design. And the Gundam Mark II. The Mark
Mm.
II is up there for me because I think that's like an improved version of the RX series.
Agreed.
And it
Yeah.
got developed into many different things like the Barzam and the advance of Zeta. So the Hazels are based off the Mark II
Titans. Yeah.
frames. Yeah, so I think the Mark II was a really good one too. Yeah, this guy right
Mm.
here, classic.
Yeah. I've been
Classic.
meaning to get that one.
Yeah. I want to rebuild the perfect grade. I had it before, but like
Oh,
I got rid of it.
PG.
So that's something I want. Yeah, the
PG Mark II.
PG Mark II. Yeah, I think I want to get my hands on that next. The next PG I'm
That's
working
cheap.
on is the Exia PG because I got the Cosmos lighting. So I'm probably gonna
Oh,
stream
mm.
that in the summer. It's gonna be a weekend build because like I don't think I could do it during the weekdays. But yeah, those are just some I think I'd like.
alright.
Any kits you want to see Bandai release in the future? Like what
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Verka G Self. When?
yourself? When? Yeah.
You give me a G Self. Actually, no. That's up there, but I also want the 1100 Gaia from Seed. I think they that would have been really good for the 1100 scale because like they
The one that
released the
transforms.
it
Oh,
transforms
the
into like
guy.
the Gaia, the Stellar Louise, because like they had the Destroy Gundam out for high
Yeah.
grade. That would have been
Yeah.
great for master grade. And what else hasn't been done in a model kit form? Uh, G Savior, master grade. I think that
Savior.
would be good. The
let me
live
see.
action G Savior. Live action.
Wait, what's
Is
this
that the
from?
one
Uh,
that has abs?
Check out G Savior with an OUR, I think.
This
It's
one?
have you guys not seen it? I think it's a 2007 live action.
No.
So
I've
that is
seen
the
old.
that is the complete form. Type in TV or sorry, live action G Self. Sorry,
Oh.
live action G Savior, and you'll find it. So it's also the actors are all real people. They're also all
Mm.
Canadian. So they was shot in Vancouver.
Oh, wait, there's a
I
live
think
Yeah.
I
action
saw.
Gundam?
Yeah,
Yeah, that is the first live action Gundam. That's it. There you go, G Savior.
Oh,
I think I saw some clips
First
of
time,
that.
bro. First time hearing about
we
this.
should watch this together.
Wow.
Man.
I want to watch it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
dude.
This is
It,
like a classic B-rated movie. It was so bad, but
interesting.
it's so good. If you guys have not seen it,
Okay.
guys, this will make you an authentic Gundam fan.
Okay.
all right,
You're looking
all right.
forward to
We will.
the new live action movie by Legendary?
I want to see what they do.
Yeah.
I'm always open to seeing it. I think that they the last one, Requiem for Vengeance, the Netflix,
Yeah.
I thought that was gonna be the live action. Turns out it wasn't. If they had like the same caliber that they did the design for the Goof, or even at Ready Player One
Mm.
type
Yeah,
of CG, I think that
of
would
good.
work well with a live action. It comes down to story. They
Mm.
really need if they're
Mm.
gonna stick with UC, go for it. But to be honest, if they do a side story, I think it would be better if they do a side story because then they're open to world building.
Yeah.
And then if that thing's
Mm.
successful, then maybe do an actual official remake
True.
of the 1 Year War or
Yeah.
whichever Gundam series that they want. But
Mhm.
yeah, I think I hope it works well. I mean, look at Voltus 5 live action.
Oh, you seen it? You seen it?
Uh,
Philippines.
it's so dramatic. I can't believe how much drama it is. It's like watching a soap opera. It's
With
like
robot.
with robots, and I'm like, how are
Robot.
they gonna do this? And I'm watching, it's like, oh, there it is. That's the Philippine touch, because like I don't remember this at all in the anime.
Yeah.
But I do like no lie, big crush on Jamie. I think she's super super pretty. I follow her on IG, and she's just super cute. But like,
Justin
yeah, Jamie,
Ortega. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
great. I think she's really pretty. So shout out, just saying hi from Canada.
Yeah.
What's up?
I saw her. I saw her personally. We were at a party together. I just can't stop looking
Oh,
at her
nice.
before. Yeah, because I used to be. I used to be an actor. We are on the same management, and then
Oh, awesome. Okay.
so we were at the same party. And everyone's just looking at her like, oh yeah, she's pretty. What the fuck?
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. She did Jamie pretty well.
Yeah.
Even though even with the blue hair, like later on in the
Mm.
in the show, because like everybody was all like Filipino black hair. And then when she colored it, I was like, okay, that was
Yeah.
cool. I just pre-ordered the SMP for this guy here
Hmm.
because I want to get my
Mm.
hands. So the Super Mecha Pla is coming out, I think, later this year.
Oh.
For the Voltus 5.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I only see the Tamashinations one. I didn't know that they're gonna have SMP.
It was announced not that long ago. It's a fairly new announcement. But
Oh, I
yeah, if
see.
you're interested in the Voltus 5, and it's a model kit too. So I'm
Mm.
gonna repaint it. I've seen SMPs before and they're just garbage. So
Yeah, they,
you have to really repaint them.
yeah, and repair some seam lines.
Oh, everything on that.
Yeah, everything.
Moving on with the questions. So, we'll focus more on the community. What trends have you noticed in the Gunpla community over the years?
Trends. A lot more builders over the years, but I think I feel like sometimes it plateaus. As normal, every day-to-day life starts happening. A lot of people going back to being outdoors, doing,
Yeah,
activities that's not Gundam related because they're able to travel or visit other places and do other things that are, not necessarily a hobby based. There is a growth in Gunpla builders, especially in the IPMS scene that I find. I think that's really good. Um, I think the anime series have been focused for the community. A lot of them, the UC folks, are being outweighed by the newer alternate centuries or even the new divers and build fighter series builders, which is fine. And I think that just opens up different categories of fun in regards
Mm.
to customization. So not a lot of the builds are necessarily war related. A lot of them are just more like for fun, right? If you see builders like especially female builders, I think there's a lot more female builders um in the community now, more
Mm-hmm.
so than when we started, because it's definitely opened up more welcoming community. At least from what I see in my community, we're very welcoming, very supportive, in all gender.
Mm-hmm.
It's not just like female gender; it's an all gender, all open kind of community. Um, let's see, what else have I seen? A lot of the stuff, international boundaries are obviously are getting less and less. A lot of people follow a lot of like builders and content creators in multiple different countries from their own. I think that international level wise community has elevated, and hopefully continues in growing. So yeah, I think Gunpla is a very positive hobby that emerged and increased even more in the pandemic and even outside of it. Definitely helped a lot of people again with mental health, with being
yeah.
it as a therapeutic activity, creative output, both for let's just collecting and building and competing. I think everybody benefits from it.
Well, how do you think the community has evolved with platforms like YouTube and Twitch?
I don't think that there's a lot of communities actively utilizing them just yet. I know Facebook groups is still like the strongest out of all the set because it's just easier
Mm-hmm.
to go to Facebook.
Yeah.
It's very familiar. Instagram community, same thing. But the thing with Instagram is individual person's account, right?
Yeah.
So it's more so like you're following builders and content creators. Discord community has arisen as well, but I find that there's also, and this is more of like the flip side of the coin. Every time there's a community, there's bound to be like some drama or politics involved. I am very happy to say that like Side 6 is very drama free, no politics. We're very transparent, and I think that's what separates our community with a lot of the other. Obviously, I'm not saying every community has their issues, but like our issues are very
Yeah.
minimum to none. I know that like sometimes like drama and politics break out from Discord communities, like the Discord leak that happened, a couple of weeks ago, or when we have exclusive clubs, I think that's also a very cliquey kind of environment,
Mm-hmm.
and does
Right.
generate potential for elitism or gatekeeping. That's really just like the downside of like people, and you can't control people. People have different agendas, different outlook on how communities are run. I've been lucky enough to work with people that are very cooperative and open. But yeah, has the community evolved in social platforms? I know Gunpla South Africa has been utilizing Instagram stories and all that stuff. It was really good. Our team here, we're using Facebook and Instagram to promote the events, our upcoming Anime North events. But yeah, I think Facebook groups and Discord groups, I think, and Reddit groups are still active. And the thing I like about them is they post the most recent stuff, so you get your news, and your builds, and acknowledgement of builders through those platforms.
Do you see new builders or content creators that you think deserves more attention?
Oh, that's a good one. There are a few that I follow that are still kind of new. Offhand, I don't, I can't remember some of their names because there's a lot of them. These guys here right now, the people I'm chatting with right now, these guys, Gunpla Photography Crew, and well, what's the official title of your channel? Like,
Perfect
what
Grade
is the official?
Studios.
It's Perfect Grade Studios,
Yeah.
right? And that's awesome. It's perfect. It's perfect.
Great.
But in regards to like new people, oh man, it's a lot of them are local. John Davis, Michael Hall, they like people I met in IPMS that are up and coming. A lot of the local builders don't have Instagram or content creation. That's another thing too, that's a problem, right? Because like unless you're consistent with your Instagram, you're not really going to be in the algorithm or engine that people would discover you. And that's
Yeah.
unfortunate because like the first things that will pop up on mine would be like the ones that are like active and reels and all that stuff. So it's kind of hard to say, and I can't really nitpick anyone out at this time. But hopefully I could message you guys as a recommendation after the show. But I do apologize, I just can't get anything off the top of my head right now.
No, man, that's cool. But we do, we would, we would favor the connections.
Oh,
Easy
absolutely.
people.
I got a couple of those. People networking is something I do enjoy, so I'll hook you guys up.
So yeah, so you have side 6, right? Let's go back to side 6. I
Sure.
just want to know, like, are do you you said that you had like a contest before that you held a is that yearly? Is that an annual event
No,
or?
it happened for 2 years. They're talking about the Great Canadian Build-Off that happened 2 years consecutively, but because of a lot of like commitments in the clubs, and then obviously responsibilities had to shift, we didn't get a chance to connect, go through with that in an annual basis. That's something that maybe is something that we could circle back in the future with the rest of the clubs. But obviously, every club has their own priorities and
Mm-hmm.
agendas. They have local conventions that they attend to. They have local events on their club, in their Facebook communities, etc. That takes precedence
Mm-hmm.
in regards to that, because it is a lot of effort and coordination, especially with multiple time zones.
Mm-hmm.
To put an event like that. So having it done the first 2 years, I think we learned a lot from that. But we're also it was very time consuming and a lot of resources was spent. So it was not as something that we wanted to pursue afterwards. But in regards to Side 6 and in competitions, we are doing one collaboration one at Anime North. It's the biggest one that we have. Actually, I don't know if you're still in my Facebook
Yep.
or whatnot, but if you do a search for Anime North. In any of my posts, you should be able to see that. Or even at the last post I shared at Side 6
Mm-hmm.
for the contest. If you click on that main page, Anime North Gunpla and Model, if you scroll down, click on the blue thing on the top, the Anime North. Yep. And if you scroll down, so these are like the current announcements for our upcoming event. It's happening here in on Toronto, and that's the crew coming in. So this is like kind of a brief of who we are. If you keep scrolling down, I think we do have a group photo at some point there. Here are the competition winners from last
Mm.
year. The Strike Gundam is the winner of last year's Best of Show. And here are like myself and so the judges and sponsors giving the award. So that's Sean Lee. He is the owner of Plamod, the distributor for Bandai here in Ontario. Or sorry, not Ontario, in Canada. Um, and let's see if you keep scrolling down. Oh man, I hope it's there. It is. That's the crew from last year. So we have about 40 plus volunteers, expanding
Mm.
in three different communities. So it's not just Side 6. This is Gunpla Ottawa, Gunpla Montreal, and Side 6 collaborating. That is also a giant statue. The logo design was the first time debuted last year the red and white logo. So it's a form of triangle, and it kind of symbolizes the three clubs that originated and started
Ooh.
the event. And obviously, we wanted to make it look, kind of like fitting into the Gundam universe by having like a technical symbol.
Yeah.
So that's currently our flag. So there's no in when we're working here, when we're doing our putting our time, we don't really put borders between which club is what. Here we are all under the same banner, the Gunpla Anime North Gunpla crew,
Mhm.
and I think that helped unify a lot of people in the event. And every one of these guys here perform admirably, and it's because of the passion and the love for Gunpla.
All right, so we have just a few more questions for you. Yeah, someone who built their own community, similar to GP. GP, maybe you can give an answer to this too. Like, do you have any advice for people who want to start their own local Gunpla community, or even like international, just their own Gunpla community?
Yeah, absolutely. I think establishing an identity first is the most important part. Knowing what your
Mhm.
community is about and what it's going to stand for will attract the people you want to be in there. So for us, like as I mentioned before, Side 6 is not like a Gunpla only community. Side 6, however, the name of that originated from the Gundam universe.
Mm.
So as you know, the colonies in the Universal
Oh
Century,
yeah,
they're
yeah,
known as
yeah.
sides, right? Side 6 starred it was featured in War in the Pocket, and in Side 6 there's I think a name there called New Ontario, and that's our
Mm.
province. So Side 6 became our colony, and we're like, you know what? Let's call it Side 6.
Yeah, that's cool.
Um, Spoiler alert, cover your ears if you don't want to hear anything from G Quicks. But the storyline actually happens in Side 6.
Yeah.
Side
And
six.
when we were watching
Ooh.
that in the theater, they put Side 6 and caption at the bottom, and we're like, yeah, we were just cheering. We played the long game. Now you know who we are. We're there. What's up? Uh,
Representation.
Yeah.
Global level, right? So it was a very happy moment. Like there was 8 of us in a row, and we're watching this movie. It's like Koroni Side 6, and we're like, no fucking way. And I'm looking at the crew, and we're all like, that meme. We're like, oh, 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 we
That's
erupted.
cool. Yeah.
We erupted when we
Yeah.
saw that. So yeah, going back to creating a community, the community is, remember, it's a community as a network. It's not just one individual. You have to think about everybody that's in the community. I myself, as much as I am lead of it, I'm also part of the community. As in,
Mm.
I build with you guys. I go to conventions with you guys. I participate in many events, local meets and build-ups. Some things that I would point out is partner up with your local stores, partner up with someone that could support you guys in resources, both on advertising, collaboration for prizes, even tools or a space to build. Because with that in your arsenal, and it's gonna build over time. It's not gonna happen over years. With that in your tool chest, it will open you guys up to helping others. Also, with networking, it builds your reputation in the community, right?
Mhm.
What do you guys want to be in a community? Is it going to be a private club, or is it a community facing club, right? Community facing
Right.
has a lot of involvement in when it comes to networking with other communities, and you have to be prepared to discuss and collaborate with people. The hardest part to do is not ask. Let me repeat that. The hardest thing to do for community is not ask,
Mm.
because if you don't ask for help, you don't ask for sponsors, you don't ask for things, you never know if you're gonna get it or not.
Mm.
The worst thing people would say is no, but the best
Mhm.
thing people will say is yeah. You'd be surprised at how many people are very, very helpful, but always remember what they did for you and return that in kind. And that's been the
Yeah.
relationship we had with all our sponsors, all our partners, all our club community brothers and sisters. Our promise is, like, obviously everything that we do is for the community. Anything that we plan for or want to do in the future has the community in mind as a part of its involvement. Again, it's not overnight, but the thing that will make it stand out is identity. With digital platforms, branding, having that as part of your thing would be really good. And featuring your community is probably like the best thing you could do for your community. Um, help people elevate by either helping, teaching them, commenting on their posts, helping them improve, and relaying them to the next person. Maybe somebody there, you see someone that used to be doing miniature painting, and that's great. Well, this guy here used to do miniature painting, he does Gundam. Why don't you guys chat, and maybe you guys can make friends. I find that like friendships form naturally when there is common ground involved.
Yeah.
And I think what you want to do is create a community for a safe space for growth, and just being in a safe environment to express your thoughts, your creativity, without the fear of judgment and ridicule.
How about you,
Man, that's a
JP?
great speech.
Yeah.
Tried the fuck out of me.
I practiced this last night in front of a mirror. I'm like, Ariel, you're gonna say this thing.
But yeah, that's yeah. I'm learning a lot today, man. So thank you so much. How about you, GP? Do you have any answer for that? You got the yeah.
Yeah, you got like one of the largest Facebook community out there, man. Amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Look at
but
that smile.
wait, hold on. I'm just processing
Yeah.
his speech, so I'm still lagging. But I guess for me, I started with close friends like Sun and Miguel also, and Chris. If you know Chris Mini, I think he
Ranny?
has who?
Sorry, Chris Rainey?
Yeah, I think his nickname is, or builder name is Miniature, right? Am I right,
Okay, yeah.
Miguel? Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
So I
Miniature
started the
Chris.
group with them basically, and we just went with the flow.
I see.
Start with
Yeah.
the friends,
Yeah,
I guess.
yeah, yeah.
Nice.
So yeah, yeah. I guess that brings the interview to a close. But don't leave yet, Ariel, because we are gonna feature some builds from the community, from Gunpla Photography page community. Sorry about that.
There we go.
Yeah. So wait, where? Oh yeah. So let's go to our next segment, the photos of the GP. Take this away.
Picture of the week. Let's go.
What the
Okay,
hell?
who's this again?
Oh, yeah.
Who's that guy?
This is the People's Choice for Plamo Photography. This is by Dan Genji.
Plamo.
Oh,
Oh, that's cool.
oh.
Look at
It's
him.
not a Gundam, but yeah.
They're doing the same pose.
Honestly, the Plamo group has little active postings, but people still post, so I do appreciate that.
Hmm. Yep. Yeah, this one's.
Yada yada does
I think
it.
it's a
It's a Moon Gundam, isn't
party
it?
brand. I forgot. Or it
Yeah,
looks resin.
it's a Moon Gundam.
Oh,
It's
it's
a
the
Moon
Moon Gun.
Gundam knockoff.
I like that. He's doing
Yeah,
the
it's
same pose.
the third party. Yeah.
Oh, so that's why it's
I
in the
think he's
Plamo
doing the
Photography.
Yeah.
yeah. I think he's doing the JoJo.
Oh yeah, is it? Yeah.
Oh yeah, he's doing the JoJo
Ando.
Yeah.
posing. I just got that. What the heck?
And then the
Just
next one is the People's Choice for Gunpla Photography by Michael Anthony Ignacio.
Oh wow, that looks nice. Verka.
Urka.
Verka
One of
Sasabi.
one of the best MGs.
It's a beast. I was actually surprised. I love the open hatch gimmick that this thing has.
Yeah, it does,
Uh,
right?
The Urka
Yeah.
has an
It's
open
open.
hatch gimmick.
Yeah.
Yeah, it does.
Have you built this, Ariel? Yeah.
Yep. I built this one. My favorite part of that is the back skirt. Very intricate, lots of details. The sights
Mm.
alone of this is very like it's definitely a display centerpiece. Especially when you have the rifles, and if you have the display with the bits or the funnels out, I think that looks really cool too. And I've seen people do LED light for the
Mm.
mono eye.
Mhm.
That will help enrich this design. But like out of the box, it's solid.
So do you do LEDs?
I haven't done in depth. I'm gonna try to do that this year as part of my challenge to myself. So every year I do one challenge.
Mm.
So this year will be LED and miniature. Actually, two challenges here: miniature and LED would be my challenge.
Looking forward to seeing that, man.
Mm.
Thanks.
All right. So the next one, GP. It's just all yours.
People, oh,
That looks horrible. I don't like it. It's too dark. It doesn't make any sense. Do too many gibbles here and there.
dude,
Is that a
when
transformer?
I haven't even talked to you about the interview when I saw this. You know,
Okay, yeah. Let's do it now.
yeah,
Yeah, this
I
is
was like, man, this is so nice, and I'm really into grunt suit, so I'm like, man, this wins.
Awesome. Thank you
Love
for
that
that.
orange.
Actually,
the
there's
orange.
a bit of a backstory with this. This kit, or the base color was painted 2 years ago for an event. So I've
Mm.
this is actually a couple years old already.
Oh,
But I took it out of because it was rushed. It was not weathered. It was nothing. It was really clean build only, and it didn't have any base. So I'm like, oh, do I get rid of it or should I fix it? And there was an event coming up, but a friend of mine showed me an action base. So the Dios action base below, um, somebody rearranged it to look like a proper base because you can't fit your model kit inside it. So you tilt it
oh,
sideways and then you put the base on the top instead. That's what the and when I did the base, I'm like, this is perfect. This is a really good base. So I took
yeah,
the Leo back out and then I repainted. I added the weathering. I actually scratch built it, well, not scratch built. I repainted the gun, the Gatling gun. It originally didn't even have a weapon. So that one, I found the old paints that I have that has been laying in my storage for 2 years and it's still active. So it has like the thinner inside. I repainted the whole
Mm.
gun with the same color scheme and then I weathered it. What I learned from my other Sheridan build is like I don't want to over weather it. I just want this thing to have the light
yeah,
battleware, but like obviously not going overboard. So that was something I was
yeah.
practicing. I was holding back the weathering. I didn't want to go over
Mm.
the top. So that was the actual challenge here. So, but yeah, it turned out a lot better. I'm happy I did do it in the weathering of this because it gave it more character. It gave it a storyline.
Mhm.
The original storyline for this is called The Recruit, and basically the pilot just got his new mecha. That's why it was all clean. Now this one here is like near the end, and I do have another theme in my builds. There's always gonna be the pilot and the mechanic. If you look at all of my other builds, there's always gonna
Mm,
be these two guys in there.
Mm.
Mm.
talking. Yeah,
Yeah, talking. It's like, hey, don't break this kit, or hey, don't break this mobile suit. Okay, here's another
yeah.
one. Don't break it.
I
But
can't
yeah,
promise that.
exactly. So a lot of kit bashes here. The main kit is actually not the Leo. It's actually a 30-minute mission. I
Oh.
only
Oh.
use
Mm,
the good. I want to say 70% of the body is from the 30
remake.
minute mission Raver Nova.
Mhm.
The head is from the Leo, obviously, but I had to chop the back part to make it fit. The thighs are from the Leo, and I had to hollow them inside to make sure that the connector ports connect. So it's there's a little bit of like stuff inside that, but yeah. The bottom part, a lot of it is like Raver Nova. The gun, the Gatling one, that one's new. I had to sacrifice the Elfrit ore. So that's from the
Oh,
Witch from Mercury
Mm.
Gatling, recolored. And the
gotcha.
shield is from the Leo. The shoulder arms are from the IBO Guy Rail.
Oh.
Which,
Ah, yeah,
yeah,
I see it now. Yeah, the small shield here.
exactly. And then the backpack weapons are from the build part. So that one's the foldable cannon, and then the other one's the rocket pod with the samurai sword before. And then
Mm.
all the other like flex connection is from 30-minute mission, like C caps and joint connections. Yeah,
30 minutes mission, man. They're gold. They're a gold
that's what I'm
mine.
saying. Get
Yeah.
30-minute missions is like is an untapped useful resources
Yeah.
for people.
Yeah. I agree. It's very affordable too. That's yeah.
Yeah.
My
Yeah,
entry
so to
back into
criticize this
Gunpla.
kit, I really like this Leo. I think it's really well done. The guy did like amazing
Yeah.
work, great
Yeah.
decals, great paint job. The scale of this of the scaling of this is really on point. Definitely GBWC material right
Yep.
here, first prize.
Woo!
I was gonna say that. I was gonna say that. Like if GBWC had some more chill, requirements, there
Yeah.
could be an
Yeah.
entry there.
Yeah.
This deserves
GBWC.
to go to Japan.
Or Zaku right here.
We should talk to whoever made this. He's copying you. Look at
Yeah.
that orange.
We need I know, right? It's an okay orange. I
Yeah.
think it's too vibrant. Need to like
Yeah.
dumb that down a little bit.
Yeah, that's it. That's
Actually,
it.
do I have it here? So this is my favorite orange, and I don't know if it's gonna capture on the mic or on the video here.
Oh
Hang
yeah, it
on, let
is.
me. Oh yeah, wait,
I
okay,
see it.
okay. So
What brand is
This
that?
is my favorite one. This one is known as Mecha Orange, but I'm trying to talk to the manufacturer to say AO. See how I wrote down AO Mecha Orange
Yeah,
on the
yeah,
side.
yeah.
So this is my favorite orange. This is from Hobby Mio. It's a pre-made
Habanero.
orange, and I have like 5 bottles of this, and it's pretty big. This is what I've been using for orange. But lately,
Mm.
I've also been experimenting with character yellow, yellow, orange, and pink, just so that I could make my own mix for the orange.
Mm.
Yeah. Uh,
Perks of having an airbrush.
yeah.
Oh, my airbrush, I have like, I don't know, 10 on my rack here. I don't know if I, no, my camera won't be able to see it. But I bought the IKEA rack. I think you've seen it in a lot of builders already. Like they have like the holes, the peg holes. So I have
Right.
like just a wall of like
You
airbrush
can just stack it there.
here.
Yeah.
Do you still
Yeah.
use your Kaizo waterfall spray booth?
I don't. I donated it before because like
Oh.
I ran out of space. I did build a new one, so I used an inline duct. So I scratch built one for now.
Mm.
It's a lot smaller. It's about like this big,
Mm-hmm.
just enough to get the particles. I try to be more selective when I paint, and I do batch coloring as well. And I have a balcony, so I do most of my primer outside, and then for indoor during winter, I would use the spray booth. It's a really good. The Kaizo is really good. I just think at the time, it or what it is, it's too huge for my space.
Mm.
If you have like a production studio, I think that would be better suited.
Mm.
I know that Kaizo has like 2 new waterfall system. I'm waiting to get one from them to see if that's something I'd be interested in reviewing or even using for production. But there are 2 other brands in China right now that are experimenting with waterfall system. I forgot the name of the brand, but I reached out to them. They're in production right now, so hopefully by summertime, I think they're going to be rolling out. I'm still kind of biased like, on waterfall, and I did mention this in my review that like there's a lot of maintenance for the water because like obviously it's a pump. You got to make sure you have to treat it like a pool. You have to clean it. You have to maintain the motor. Make sure no particles get in there. There's a bit of, if that is taken out of consideration, then maybe it'll be better. But yeah, even here, the design on this one is great. It looks beautiful, but functionality, what I didn't like about this is the airflow is being sucked from below, not from the top.
Mm.
So that means the airflow has to go at the bottom first before it goes back up on the backside. However, the motors that they use for the fans, freaking amazing. You're looking at 160 CFM to 200 CFM total
Mm.
power. This thing could suck air, no problem. But because it sucks air, it takes away water pressure as well. So it's
Oh.
pushing the water back up. So you're not getting that flow. See how the water looks like it's a waterfall instead of like just a stream of water?
Yeah, yeah.
Because
Yeah.
when I crank the air up and it doesn't give the right pressure for the water to come. So it's actually pausing as it goes down.
I see.
So that I mentioned that in my review. I think they
Mhm.
revised it in the new Kaizo waterfall. Again, I don't have my hands on the new one yet, but when I do, I'm definitely going to be open to see if they did any improvements with the waterfall and pressure. And that's my
Mm.
display cases behind there with all the Gundams.
Oh yeah.
Loads and loads, and then the comic books at the bottom, and it's like, yeah, that's my nerd wall
Right.
back there.
Oh, speaking of comic books,
Your
by the way,
sanctuary.
Miguel and Justin and I just like when was that? Like 2 weeks ago? No, last week. We went into this like Manila fun
Yeah,
run.
last week.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
a collaboration with Manila Comic Con, and they gave us. I don't know if you'd like this. This is a I think you'll love it. A Manila exclusive, Absolute
Oh
Flash.
wow,
Yeah,
Flash, yeah, yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
It's
Oh, that's
made.
cool.
It's drawn by I forgot who. I'm sorry, but yeah, it's in Manila. You can see that.
Nice.
Yeah, yeah. You can see there's a
I used
jeepney
to
there.
collect all the variants. Yeah, I
Yeah,
used to be a big variant hunter as well. Um, yeah, like they're really great. Oh, that's cool. That's awesome that
yeah,
they got the comic variant for that.
yeah. That's cool. But yeah, that's it for this episode. Again, thank you so much, Ariel. Any closing thoughts for from you, Miguel or GP? I'd like to.
I feel like a baby, and this guy is teaching me to
Hi.
walk. You know,
I
the whole
know, right?
episode. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you so much, Ariel. We learned a lot from this episode from you. Thank you so much. Y- what Ariel, of this episode. This is your story is inspiring. It's funny. It's also funny, and yeah, having built a community and doing as we Perfect Grade Studios is trying to go into the content creation side, and seeing how you did it is so. I don't know. You learned a lot today, so thank you so much for that.
Awesome. No, thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
Yeah. Hopefully we could get you back someday.
Yeah.
Anytime,
yeah.
anytime. You guys need anything from me? Happy to contribute. Happy to
You heard
collaborate.
him. Anytime.
That's it. Yeah, anytime.
Yeah.
Anytime. Night or day, 4 a.m. in the morning, in my bed. I'll just be like, who the fuck are you guys? What do you guys want?
Wag naman, hoy.
Or just have an all Tagalog session, and then that way no one could understand what we're talking about.
Dude, when you visit, we should stream. An
Yeah,
all Tagalog
absolutely.
stream.
Yeah.
All
Yeah.
Tagalog,
While
yeah.
while drinking.
Well, welcome to Perfect Grade After Dark.
Yeah.
Karaoke, pulutan, inuman, yeah, all of that, man.
Featuring Ayo Gunpla.
Again,
Awesome.
you can find Ariel AO Mecha on Instagram, Twitch,
Ayo,
and you're not active on YouTube anymore, but yeah.
I mean, check out the content there. I
Yeah.
think that it's still valuable.
Yeah.
Hopefully to some people. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, thank you so much, and for the viewers out there, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and don't forget, running gets you one, moving forward gets you two. Bye bye.
Where do you get that?
Perfect Grade Podcast.